Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Beautiful morning in March. I thought we might start in a reclined position this morning. So just take some moments to lie down, to get comfortable, make sure you have all the support you need. You can stay seated if you prefer, but I did think it would be lovely to start lying down this morning. And just keep socks on if you're feeling a little bit cool. You can even cover yourselves with a blanket or a shawl. If you wear glasses, you might like to pop those to one side. So just lying down, get comfortable. And we'll begin this morning by tensing the body as tightly as we can on the inhale. So you're going to bring as much tension into the body as possible. You hold that for a moment. And then on the exhalation, letting all of that tension go as you sigh the breath away. So let's do this 3 or 4 times. And when you've finished, as you breathe in, you might like to say to yourselves, I am. And as you exhale, here. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, here. I am here. So just allowing yourself these first few moments to be still. Total stillness. Total rest. Silence. So you can even drop those words now if you like. When we practice Shavasana at the beginning of our session, it's a way of releasing tension, releasing the events of our morning, the past, so that we can bring our full attention to the present moment, to the here and now. Hopefully, while we rest in this pose, we're also able to connect with a feeling of peace so that our practice can come from a centered place. Then when we begin to move, our actions are more conscious and integrated. Swami Karma Karuna says that when Shavasana comes first, our practice moves from just being a physical exercise to a meditative process with the quality of deep relaxation and presence. So in this quiet space, just notice what's going on in your physical body this morning, noticing all physical sensations in your body. And then notice what's going on in your mind. Watch your mind without attaching a judgment to what you observe. I'd like to share a beautiful poem with you from a bit of a favourite book of mine at the moment by Jeff Foster. It's called You Were Never Broken. Be present. Be here. The teaching is so ridiculously simple. Be present. Be here. Feel your feet on the ground, your belly rising and falling. Be open and receptive to the life all around you. The sounds, smells, tastes, feelings rising unexpectedly, a tingling in the belly, a contraction in the throat, heaviness in the head, an old melancholy coming to visit. Stay curious as the moment dances. Stay curious even as you lose your curiosity. Listen. Listen with your entire body. Hear yourself. Hear the person you're talking to. Hear the silence in between the sentences. Let the silence linger a little while longer. Move just a little into the discomfort. There's no rush. There's no better moment to get to. Silence doesn't always need to be filled. Be a little more naked, a little slower. Know a little less what you're about to say. Be a little less prepared, a little messier, a little more willing to expose your shaky, vulnerable heart. Be surprised at your own responses. Don't numb yourself with the same old stories. Stumble if you need to. It's okay. You are held. Let your words emerge from silence and return to them. Notice if you're talking just to avoid the silence. Notice if you're regurgitating a story you've told before. Notice if you're trying to impress or win love or avoid being seen for who you really are. Friend, in silence, we can truly meet. Genuine understanding is beyond mind. Let us be awkward and shy and hesitant together and clumsy, I don't mind. Love is wordless. She needs no more words. Listen to the silence. It is volcanic. Be present. Be here. The teaching is so damn simple. Be present. Be here. So let us work with a quiet, gentle practice today, working towards experiencing greater internal peace and less agitation in mind and body. Letting everything slow down, letting everything settle. So just start to become aware once more of your surroundings as you start to connect with the breath. Perhaps bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and your toes. I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. If you've got any coverings or little pillows under your head, you might like to just pop those now to one side. And make sure that you're lying in a nice straight line. You can lift your head up and look down towards your feet and just check that you're not leaning to one side, and then just lower the head down, tucking the chin forward so the back of the neck is long. So I thought we might also this morning integrate some beautiful words from Thich Nhat Hanh. It's a bit of a meditation, so we're going to incorporate it with our movements. So you can follow along just repeating these words if you like. So we'll exhale all breath to begin. And then as we breathe in, we're going to take the arms overhead. The first word is in. So repeating the word in to yourself as you stretch from fingertip to toe tip. And as we exhale, the arms float down, the word is out. Breathing in, arms float overhead, the word is deep. Another beautiful stretch. And as we exhale, the word is slow. Inhaling, this time the word is calm. And exhaling, the word is ease. Inhale, smile. And exhale, release. Last one, the words are present moment and wonderful moment. And take a resting breath there. You might sigh the breath away. Now let's inhale both arms overhead once again. But this time we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Head can lift or stay on the mat. So working with our dynamic leg lock pose. Inhale, stretch the leg away, arms up and overhead. We'll do that again on the right side. Exhale, draw the knee in. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Link the movement with your breath. On the last one, we'll keep the head down on the mat as the knee draws in. And holding the knee. Now we're going to work with some leg raises. So point your left toes. Inhale, take the left leg up to the sky. Flex the foot. And as we exhale, we're lowering the leg down. Heel can hover off the floor. We'll do 4 more. Inhale, leg lifts. And exhale, we lower it down. Keep going. Make sure that there's no tension in the face, the mouth, the teeth, the tongue. All relaxed, all soft. Breath flowing. And then the last time we take this left leg into the air, we're going to hold it there and just point and flex the foot a few times. And then circling that left foot. And reverse. And then lowering that left leg down, and we're going to move into a twist. So placing the right foot on your left thigh, left hand to the outside of the knee, right arm is at shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're carrying that knee across the body, trying to relax your right shoulder. And you might like to turn the head to look along that right arm, or just keeping the head in a neutral position if that's better for your neck. Let the breath flow. then we'll gently come back to center, give that right knee a hug and a squeeze. Stretch it along the mat. And let's do the same sequence on the other side now. So inhale, the arms sweep overhead. Have a lovely stretch. And exhale, draw the left knee in. So head may lift or stay on the mat. So 4 more of these. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep going. And the last one, keep the head down on the mat, drawing the left knee in, take a hold and then pointing your right toes. Inhale, let's take that right leg up. Flex the foot. And as we exhale, slowly lowering it down. Heel may hover. Point the toes. Inhale, lift it up. Flex and lower. So 3 more of these. Last one, we keep that leg in the air and starting to point and flex that right foot. And circling the foot, nice slow circles. And reverse. And carefully lowering that right leg down. Left foot on your right thigh, right hand to the outer edge of the left knee, left arm at shoulder height. And as we exhale, carrying that knee across the body, just relax that left shoulder. Head may turn to look along that left arm or stay in a neutral position. Again, softening the skin of the face, mouth is relaxed, and breath flowing. Good. Gently come back to center, give that left knee a hug. And then we're going to step both feet up close to the buttocks. Feet are hip width apart, our arms are down alongside our hips. Again, just check that your head, neck and spine are in alignment. Preparing to work with bridge, Setu Bandhasana, and we'll come back to those words of Thich Nhat Hanh. You can lift the arms overhead as we lift the back, or just keep the arms down alongside the body, whatever's best for your shoulders this morning. So let's exhale all breath as we press the lower back into the mat. And then as we inhale, we start to lift. The first word is in. And as we exhale and lower the spine and perhaps the arms, the word is out. Second time we lift, the word is deep. And as we exhale, slow. Inhale, calm. And exhale, ease. Breathing in, smile. And breathing out, release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Now just drop the words and let's do 3 more rounds of bridge, just in silence. When you finish the last one, draw both knees into the chest, cross your feet at the ankles, a hand on each knee, and let's make some little circles on the floor with the lower back. And crossing the legs the other way, circling in the opposite direction. Good. And then carefully roll over to one side and come up to sit. I'm going to sit onto a little cushion this morning. That's optional. You might have a blanket, or just be sitting on your mat without any support. So nice, tall spine. We're going to begin our seated poses with a bit of a favourite practice of mine. Some of you will have done this with me before. It's really good for PTSD, or just whenever you're feeling a little bit anxious or quite stressed. Lots of tension in the body. So it's called the self-holding technique, and there are 5 different positions we're going to be placing our hands on. We'll also incorporate Thich Nhat Hanh's words as we do this. So the first place we're going to place our hands on is the sides of the head. You can do this with the eyes open or closed. So we'll just take 3 breaths here with the first lot of words from Thich Nhat Hanh. So in, out, just repeating that with 3 breaths. So in, out, in, out, in, out. And then we place one hand on the forehead, the other hand on the back of the head. So the second lot of words, so 3 breaths, deep, slow, just in your own time. And then the back hand comes to rest over the heart center. 3 breaths here. So the words are calm and ease. And then that top hand comes to rest over the belly. 3 breaths with the word smile, release. And finally, the hand that's over the heart goes to the back of the head. 3 breaths, present moment, wonderful moment. Finish, just release the hands down. You might flick them, give them a bit of a shake. Good, change your leg position if you need to. We're just going to start to sway from side to side. Just a very gentle movement to begin. I'd like to imagine that you're in a body of water and you're a beautiful water reed or a water plant just being moved by the flow of water. Very slow. And then we'll start to lift one arm up and take it overhead. And swapping over. Good, and then the next time you lean over to the right, let's hold that stretch, breathing into the left side of the body. Keep the face soft. And then to the other side. And come back to center. So either sitting cross-legged or perhaps with the legs in a diamond shape. If they're crossed, you might change the cross. And we're going to go into wheeling the body. So I think you all know this one pretty well. You can do it with the eyes open or closed. Just keep it very slow this morning. I'd like to keep your attention, your gaze at the center of your forehead, at your third eye. Good, and then if you'd like to, if your legs are crossed, you can take the arms down over one knee or just keep circling if you prefer. We're going to walk the hands around as far as we can, lift one arm up and the other arm follows. And we'll do 2 more of these, so making large circles with our arms. Walk the hands around as far as we can, top arm lifts, other arm follows, and 1 more. Good. And then let's all stretch forward. Again, your gaze, your drishti is to the center of your forehead to help quieten the mind. And then slowly come up. Now, if your legs are in a diamond shape, just keep them as they are. If they're crossed, swap it over. And we're going to circle now in the opposite direction. Keep circling, or now bring the hands down over the opposite knee. Walk your hands around as far as you can to the side. Top arm lifts, other arm follows. So 2 more. And then we'll fold forward your gaze to the center of the forehead, pausing here, connecting with your breath. And let's slowly come up. And we're going to stretch the legs out now into Dandasana. So you might still be sitting onto some support, you may not. Into Dandasana. Let's hold this for a moment. It can be quite challenging. That's why it can be nice to sit up onto a bit of support. Spine lengthening upward. We can imagine we're pressing the soles of the feet against an imaginary wall. Shoulders relax down, chin tucks in a little bit, face is soft. Breathe. So from here, we're going to move into a twist. We'll inhale, raise the right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to scoop it under the left thigh. Then we inhale the left arm up to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we wrap it around the back. Now, it might rest on your cushion or on the mat. Some of you might be able to wrap it around your back, reaching towards your right hip crease. And then, as we know with twist, the head moves last. We're still pressing the feet into that imaginary wall, lengthening up through the spine, breathing. Good, let's come back to center. So it's good to have some support, especially if the pelvis is tilting. If we're sort of like this in Dandasana, so this helps to keep we think of the pelvic bowl level on all sides. So that's where this can be really helpful. Okay, let's go to the other side. So inhale the left arm up and tuck it under the right thigh. Breathe your right arm out to shoulder height. And as you exhale, either take it behind to the floor, to your cushion, or wrapping it around your back, reaching for your left hip crease. Head moves last as we twist. Feet are pressing into that imaginary wall. Face is soft. and breath is flowing. And let's gently come back to center. All right, so we're going to do a back bend. Gentle option is to just keep the buttocks down and take the hands behind. You can play around with which position your fingers are pointing and to lift the chest. You might even stay here and breathe, perhaps tilting the head back a little further. Otherwise, we're going to come into table, which is a bit stronger. So you'll need to move the support. Bend the legs. We're just going to lift up once and stay there. So you choose how long you'd like to stay. As we inhale, we lift up. Looking along the body if there are any issues with your neck. Otherwise, you might tilt the head to look up towards the sky. And breathe. Lift the chest, lift your hips, lift your belly. When you've had enough, slowly lower down. Stay for another few breaths. If you're happy there, release your wrists, and you might like to just make a few slow circles with the hands. All right, let's come into extended child now. So knees are nice and wide, your big toes are touching, the arms extending forward, middle fingers pointing straight ahead. Breathing into the back of the body, feeling that beautiful stretch through the back body. Enlivening your spine with your breath. Right, now we're going to make some little movements with our hips. Any knee issues, you might like to pop a blanket or some support under your knees. We're just going to come onto our forearms. So this is a bit like our hippie cat that we sometimes do, but different arm and hand position this morning. So just going to imagine drawing some slow circles with our hips around and around. Good. And then reversing. Good. And gently release. Slide your fingers back towards you as you come back to kneel, either staying down here or up here, preparing to work with some kneeling salutes. So coming back to the words of Thich Nhat Hanh as we work with this practice. So let's exhale all breath. And as we breathe in, the word is in and out. Deep, tuck your toes, slow. Lowering the knees, calm. Back into child, ease. Now just coming through into a low cobra. Smile, elbows squeeze in, pushing back, release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. So we're going to do 4 more of these. In, out. Deep, tuck your toes. Slow. Calm. Ease. Sliding along the floor, smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. In, out. Deep, slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. In, out. Deep, slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. So let's do 1 more. You just repeat the words to yourself now. Do it in silence. Good. Now just drop the words and we're going to do a couple more rounds, adding an extra couple of poses. If you're a bit low in energy, feel free to just rest now in child pose or lie down. You can visualize yourself doing the sequence. To dog. Back into cat. And child. Now we're going to slide along the floor and stay down, palms together above the head, and take a couple of breaths here. Just really relax and let go. Take the arms and legs wide apart and lift up. And again, let's stay for a couple of breaths. Hands back alongside your chest, elbows tucked in. Moving through cobra, back into extended child. Inhale, come up. And exhale. So we'll just do one more round again, as we just did. So coming to lie down, palms together above the head, take 2 breaths. Arms and legs wide and lift. 2 breaths. And then hands back alongside your chest, Bhujangasana Cobra. Back into extended child. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Take a breath or 2 here. And then either choosing to rest in your favourite version of child pose, or if you'd like a bit more of a challenge this morning, bit of upper body work, core work, we'll try a low plank with a variation. So either child, or you can come along with me. We're going to, I'm not doing that. We're staying on our knees first of all. We're going to interlace the fingers, elbows are shoulder width apart. Then we're going to just tuck the toes under, but we're aiming to have the body in a nice straight line. So most of us need to drop the buttocks here. I always find it helps to apply Mula Bandha and also a little bit of Uddiyana Bandha. So our perineal locks, squeezing the pelvic floor and the abdominal area, drawing in and up. Holding here. You can always drop the knees if you need a little rest. If you want a bit more of a challenge, try crossing one ankle over the other and holding that for a breath or 2. And then swap it over. And when you've had enough, lower your knees, push back into child. Let's all extend the arms forward now. So we're in extended child, Ardha Mukha Virasana. A few breaths here. Breathe down into the lower back. And then we're going to prepare to lift into dog and work with our solo standing pose today. So tucking your toes, coming up into dog. And then we're going to look towards our hands, and we're going to step the right foot between the hands. And we're staying on the ball of the left foot. I think most of you have done this with me before. To come up, but to help yourself a bit, you can take the hands onto that right thigh to slowly come up. If you've got a wall, it's even better if you feel a bit wobbly. Now we want to make sure that our hips are square. We're on, as I said, the ball of that back foot, and then we're going to take the arms up. So this is a variation of Warrior One. As we exhale, we're going to bend the front leg. One arm swings forward, the other arm back. One arm forward, the other arm back. Now you can keep this slow. I recommend that this morning because of our theme, our focus. But of course, you can speed this up if that's what you're feeling you need this morning. Good. And then let's bring the hands down on either side of that right foot and come back into dog. You can always drop down into child for a little rest if that's what's needed at this moment. Otherwise, just holding dog, connecting with your breath. And then we're going to try the other side. So when you're ready, look towards your hand, step the left foot forward and come up safely. So you're on the ball of the back foot, your hips are square, the front leg is straight. Arms go up. So this time as we bend that left leg, the opposite arm is swinging forward and up. If the arm part is a bit too confusing, you can always just keep the hands on the hips. Just bend that front leg and then straighten. Bend and straighten. Good. And then bring your arms down on either side of that left foot. Let's come back into dog. Again, you might stay here for a few breaths, or you might make your way now to lie down onto your tummies. Those of you who'd like a bit more of a challenge, in a moment from dog, you might move into plank and then lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana to come to the floor. Perhaps plank, body in a straight line, and then lowering down as slowly as you can. Elbows squeeze in and then resting. One hand on top of the other, your chin or your forehead on your hands. Now, those of you who are super energetic this morning, you might like to try hands alongside your chest, tuck your toes, elbows squeeze in. See if you can lift yourself off the floor and stay there for a breath or two or three or four. And when you've had enough, just come back to the resting position. Let go. So during our practice, it's important to pause at times so that we can tune into subtle changes and regain our energy. And these little breaks also mean that we can then move on feeling more alert, engaged, and present. As Jeff Foster says in his poem, be present, be here. The teaching is so damn simple. Be present, be here. So I'm going to work with a couple of back strengthening poses, beginning with Sphinx. So we'll create a right angle with our arms. Feet are hip width or mat width if that's better for your lower back. Again, we might bring our gaze, our drishti back to the centre of the forehead. Eyes can be open or closed. And if you like, we'll also come back to Thich Nhat Hanh's words. So 5 breaths in Sphinx. And then we'll lower down. So when you're ready, first word is in, out. Breathing these words, the breath up and down your spine. So inhale deep up your spine. And exhale slow down your spine. Calm. ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. Wonderful moment. And take another breath in. And as we exhale, come down. This time, bring your arms down along by your sides. Turn your head to one side and just give in. If the lower back's feeling a little bit tender, you can bend the lower legs and just swing them from side to side. All right, so coming back to center, and our next pose is Shalabhasana, a dynamic version. So I think, again, you've all done this with me before, but of course, have a look if you're not sure. Well, this is our start position with the head to one side, feet hip width. So let's exhale all breath here. And as we breathe in, we bring the head to center, we lift the legs, we lift the arms. Exhale, lowering everything down, head turns the opposite way. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. So keep working with this practice, linking the movement with your breath. Of course, resting when you've had enough. Those of you who really love this pose, you might now choose to come into the pose and hold it. Keep the breath flowing. Face soft. Pointing your toes, stretching your fingers back towards your feet. And you just lower when you've had enough. And when you've rested enough, bring the hands alongside your chest and we'll move through Cobra back into your favourite version of child. So if the lower back's quite tender, you might make fist of the hands and give it a little bit of a rub. And then slowly coming up, swing the legs around. You might sit back onto your cushion or blanket, stretching your legs out. So we're back into Dandasana, preparing to work now with Paschimottanasana. So I thought we might work with this 3 times and stay in it for 5 breaths each time and work with Thich Nhat Hanh's words if you'd like to. If you've had enough, then you can just drop those words and just keep connected to your breath. So you can bend the legs in this pose. You can even, it can be nice to put some support under the knees, a rolled up blanket or a bolster, or you can work more traditionally with the legs straight. If you've got a strap, you can pop the strap around your feet and work that way. So lots of ways we can work with this pose, including having some support under the sit bones. If we're starting here, it's difficult to move forward. So that's where it can be good to help that pelvic bowl be more even on all sides so that we can tilt forward more easily. So let's bring the hands down alongside our hips, lengthening up through the crown top, just soften the shoulders. Inhale, raise the arms up. and come forward. Sustain for 5 breaths. As we breathe in, the word is in, out, deep, slow, calm, ease, smile, release, present moment. Wonderful. Now inhale, come up and release your arms down. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward. In, out, deep, slow, ease, smile, release, present moment. Wonderful. Exhale. Last one. So we'll do this one in silence, 5 breaths, if you like adding Thich Nhat Hanh's words. When you finish, take the arms up. This time bring your palms together and bring the hands down to your heart and take a breath or 2 there. Okay, you might get the legs to the shape, the knees, and then coming to sit in a comfortable seated position. You might even be in a chair at this point. We're coming back to the self-holding technique. We're going to work with this, and each position we hold for 3 breaths. So first of all, to the sides of the head, eyes can be open or closed. And perhaps repeating the first line of Thich Nhat Hanh's meditation. So in, out, in, out, in, out. And then one hand to the forehead, one hand to the back of the head. Deep, slow, 3 times. Back hand goes to the heart. 3 breaths, calm, ease. Top hand goes down to the belly. Smile, release, 3 breaths. Top hand goes to the back of the head. Present moment, wonderful moment. Finish, release the hands down, and we'll sit quietly just for a minute or two, eyes closed or with just a soft downward glance, or if you can, your drishti is once again at your third eye. This is Shambhavi Mudra. Just let the breath flow freely now. Quietly bring the hands together at the heart. And we'll chant 3 Oms. Inhale. Just bow your head down towards your heart, honouring yourself, honouring your dedication to this practice. And lift the head up. Let's come to lie down now for Shavasana, relaxation. Gather what you need to be comfortable and fully supported. You might like to commence the way we started by tensing the body as tightly as you can on the inhale, and then letting all of that tension go as you exhale. Let's do this 2 or 3 times. And as you breathe in, you might like to say to yourself, I am here. I am here. When we practice this pose, Shavasana, at the end of our sessions, it's a very important and precious time when the effects of the practices can soak in. So just give yourself permission now to rest. Begin to release the weight of your bones into the earth. And feel the support of the earth beneath you. Shavasana is essentially about undoing and simply being. Enjoy this time of deep rest, deep quiet, deep peace. Time to simply be present, be here. Feel free to remain lying here if you have the time and you're happy to do so. Otherwise, start now to deepen the breath. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Have a little bit of a stretch. Do what feels good. And then carefully rolling over to one side and coming up into a comfortable seated position. Just taking your arms out to the side. Deep breath in as we raise the arms up overhead. Bring the palms to touch. And exhale, bring the hands down through your center. Namaste. Thank you. Love to you all. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I'll see some of you in Bali, and some of you I will keep connected with you and keep in touch, and hope to see you back on the Zoom mat in a few weeks' time. Love to you all.
Thank you for another great lesson.
Thanks, Helen. Bye.